Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Israel Hernandez, your strategic real estate advisor. Let's get right to it. Since January of 2020, the all-in cost of owning a home in California has skyrocketed by a staggering 82%. Now, if a number like that makes you want to throw your hands up and forget about your real estate goals altogether, I need you to take a breath, lean in, and listen closely. Because numbers like that are exactly why you need a real strategy, not just a search alert. If you're ready to move beyond the headlines and get the actionable intelligence that will actually help you build wealth through real estate, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button. My commitment is to give you the clarity you need, and the first step is to make sure that you don't miss these updates. Now let's dive in. Imagine this for a moment. It's a perfect Saturday morning. You're strolling through the Riviera Village in South Redondo, coffee in hand, the faint scent of salt in the air. You pass by bustling cafes and boutique shops. This is a lifestyle, a feeling. It's what I call the vibe. It's a powerful draw and people pay a premium for it. Now picture another Saturday morning, just a few miles north. You're at a park in North Redondo. Kids are playing on the swings, families are setting up for a birthday party, and there's a sense of community, of space. You see homes with backyards, driveways with basketball hoops. This is a different kind of dream, one centered on space, functionality, and practicality. This is what I call the value. For years, the common wisdom has been to talk about the Redondo Beach market as one single thing, but that's a myth. And in a market this complex, that myth is dangerous. It can lead you to overpay, to overlook incredible opportunities, or to misjudge the true value of your own home. Today, we're going to bust that myth wide open, because the single most important thing you need to understand is that Redondo Beach is not one market. It's a tale of two cities, a clear and accelerating split between value and vibe. Understanding which side of the line your goals fall on is the key to your success. To understand what's happening on our streets, we first have to look up at the big picture, the national economic currents that are setting the stage. And the biggest story of late 2025 is the Federal Reserve. After 2 long years of relentless interest rate hikes, the Fed has finally pivoted. In September, they cut their benchmark rate for the first time since December of 2024, lowering it to a target range of 4 to 4.25%. Now, what does that mean for you? In plain English, the cost of money is starting to come down. This isn't just a one-time event, it's the beginning of a trend. The Fed's own projections show they expect to make at least 2 more cuts before the end of 2025, with a clear downward path planned for 2026 and beyond. This removes a massive cloud of uncertainty that has kept so many buyers and sellers frozen on the sidelines. The fear of higher for longer is being replaced by a clear forecast of sustained easing, and that confidence is the fuel our market needs. This is translating directly into relief for your wallet. As of the first week of October, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate has already dipped to around 6.34%. Looking ahead, the big housing economists at Fannie Mae and the Mortgage Bankers Association see rates staying in the mid-sixes to finish out this year. But the real story is 2026. Fannie Mae is forecasting that we could see rates fall below the 6% threshold by the end of next year, landing at 5.9%. The California Association of Realtors agrees, predicting an average of 6% for the year. Breaching that 6% level is a powerful psychological and financial catalyst. It unlocks a whole new wave of buyers who have been priced out. But what about sellers? For homeowners who have been enjoying a mortgage rate of 3 to 4%, this drop isn't enough to break the golden handcuffs. You're not likely to make a discretionary move. However, for those who have to move for a new job, a growing family, a divorce, or retirement, this makes the decision much more palatable. The difference between a 7.5% and a 6% mortgage on your next home is massive. So we should expect to see a gradual, steady increase in the supply of homes for sale as these must-move sellers are finally able to re-enter the market. The reason the Fed feels comfortable cutting rates is because the job market, after years of supercharged growth, is finally cooling. The August job report showed a meager addition of just 22,000 jobs nationally, which is basically zero. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.3%, its highest point in 4 years. More recent data from ADP for September was even weaker, showing a net loss of 32,000 private sector jobs. This is a double-edged sword. A weaker job market is what's giving us these better mortgage rates. That's the good news. The flip side is that rising economic uncertainty can make potential buyers nervous. This means the nature of housing demand is shifting. The aspirational, wealth-driven demand from the boom years is fading. It's being replaced by a more resilient, fundamental demand driven by non-negotiable life events. This shift favors homes that are tied to essential needs, not discretionary wants, which brings us right back to our local market. Here in California, the defining feature of our market is the affordability crisis. For 2025, only 17% of California households can afford to buy the median-priced home, just 17% out of 100. That number is expected to inch up to a mere 18% in 2026. This acts as a natural ceiling of how high prices can go, and it fundamentally reshapes buyer behavior. When an entry-level home here costs 30% more than a mid-tier home in the rest of the country, buyers are forced to make a choice: leave the coast or recalibrate their expectations. For many who are tied to the South Bay, that means the condo and townhome market isn't an alternative. It's the primary entry point to home ownership. This creates a rock-solid base of demand for attached homes. So with that context, let's zoom in on Redondo Beach. The data from September 2025 tells us a fascinating story. Citywide, the single-family home market is on fire. We have just 2.06 months of inventory, which is intensely low. Homes are selling in a median of just 16 days, and they're selling for 101.9% of their asking price, meaning bidding wars are the norm. The median price for a house across the city is a formidable $1,852,500. The condo and townhome market is also healthy but more balanced. Inventory is higher at 3.51 months, homes take longer to sell at 29 days, and buyers have a bit more negotiating power, with properties selling for 98.6% of the list price. But those are just the citywide averages. They're a myth. The real story, the actionable intelligence, is in the details. Let's break it down by zip code. In the single-family home market, South Redondo 90277 is the undisputed luxury leader. The median sold price there is $2,273,000, which is almost 40% higher than the $1,625,000 median in North Redondo's 90278. But here's the mind-blowing stat. Despite having more inventory, homes in the South sell in a median of just 9 days. 9. That's more than 4 times faster than the 41-day average in the North. This is classic vibe market behavior. Affluent buyers see a home they want near the water, and they act with incredible speed and decisiveness. Now look at North Redondo, the 90278. While more affordable, it's arguably the most competitive market in the entire city. With just 1.54 months of supply, it is starved for inventory. This scarcity creates a feeding frenzy for any well-priced home that hits the market. The result? The average sold to list price ratio is a staggering 104.4%. Let me repeat that. On average, homes in North Redondo are selling for 4.4% over the asking price. This is the value market in action. Buyers priced out of the South are flooding into the North, looking for more space for their money, and they are competing fiercely for it. Here's a question for you, and I'd love to see your answers in the comments below. When you think about your next move, what's the biggest driver for you? Is it the value of more space and a lower price per square foot, or the vibe of being closer to the water and lifestyle amenities? Let me know. The condo market is where it gets even more interesting. On the surface, both zip codes look identical, with a median sold price right around 1.4 million. But that similarity masks a huge difference. The key metric is price per square foot. In South Redondo, you'll pay a median of $919 per square foot for a condo, and in North Redondo, that number is just $690. That's a 33% difference. For the exact same sales price, you are getting significantly more home in the North. This is a critical driver for first-time home buyers and young families who need that extra bedroom or home office. One market offers a premium vibe, the the other incredible value. They cater to two completely different but equally motivated types of buyers. A market analysis that only looks backwards is incomplete. We have to look at how the city is physically changing. The development pipeline shows a clear focus on increasing density in the inland areas, particularly North Redondo. The massive South Bay Galleria redevelopment is in review, with Phase 2 proposing 335 new rental apartments and 15 for sale townhomes. Down the road, the Legato Redondo project is already under construction, bringing 115 residential units and a new hotel to the corner of PCH and Palos Verdes Boulevard. In the short term, all these new rental units could increase more competition for landlords in 90278, but long term, these projects are a massive investment in the neighborhood's future, bringing in new residents, new shops, and modern amenities that will lift the entire area. For homeowners, this is a signal of long-term vitality and appreciation. If you're a homeowner in North Redondo and you're curious about how these new developments could specifically impact your property's value, let's talk. All my contact info is in the description below for a no-pressure consultation. Meanwhile, in the south, the city is investing in the vibe. They're restoring the lower pond at Wilderness Park and breaking ground on a beautiful open space improvement project at Redondo Street and PCH. These projects don't add housing, but they enhance the quality of life that makes 90277 a premium market. But here's another longer-term factor at play. The city is officially beginning a comprehensive sea level rise assessment for all properties in the coastal zone. This is a proactive and necessary step, but it will create a new factor in property valuation over the next decade. The findings will eventually lead to new building codes, new insurance requirements, and new zoning policies. In the future, the value of a coastal property won't just be about the view, it will also be about its quantified environmental risk and resilience. This is a crucial development for any long-term investor in the 90277 zip code to watch. So let's bring it all together. What is my unified thesis for 2026 and beyond? The Redondo Beach market is entering a new phase of mature, sustainable, but highly differentiated growth. Falling interest rates will provide a solid floor under the entire market, while a chronic lack of inventory will continue to push prices up. But the real money, the smart money, will be made by understanding and leveraging the value versus vibe bifurcation. A one-size-fits-all approach is doomed to fail. I see three clear opportunity zones right now. First, the value-add single-family home in North Redondo. The 104.4% sell-to-list ratio is a screaming signal of unmet demand. The strategy here is to find a cosmetically dated home, execute a smart and efficient renovation, and deliver the turnkey product that value-seeking buyers are literally fighting over in bidding wars. Second, the lifestyle premium condo in South Redondo. This is for the buyer who is priced out of the single-family home in 90277, but refuses to compromise on the location's vibe. A condo with an ocean view or one that's a short walk to the Riviera Village will always command a premium and represents a stable, liquid investment in one of Southern California's most desirable neighborhoods. And third, a longer-term play, holding multifamily assets near the new developments in 90278 as projects like the Galleria redevelopment transforms the urban core of North Redondo over the next 5 to 10 years. The entire area will become more desirable, lifting the value of older, well-located apartment buildings around it. The era of the generalist is over. Success in the next cycle belongs to the specialist. It's not just about buying in Redondo Beach, it's about knowing precisely where to buy, what to buy, and why you're buying it. If you're ready to move from being a passive observer to an active, informed participant in this market, feel free to reach out to me. Whether you're a buyer trying to find your place in this complex landscape or a homeowner looking to maximize your equity, the next step is a conversation. Click the link in the description below to schedule a private, no obligation strategy session with me. Thank you so much for your time today. If you found this analysis valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe for more insights, and share it with a friend. And my final question for you, based on everything we've discussed, which micro market in Redondo Beach do you believe holds the most potential for 2026? Let's get the conversation started in the comments. I'm Israel Hernandez, and I'll see you in the next video.